Hello everybody, welcome to the Grand Prix de l'ACF, otherwise known as the French Grand Prix, here at Reims, and we have Fagioli on pole, then Fangio, then Farina, as they finished in Belgium, of course, so they will start in France. So, this means that, and Fagioli, remember, he only needs to beat Fangio and Fagioli today to be world champion, and Chiron, but Chiron is way back in 14th, of course, so Fagioli just needing a point to wrap up the world, or a point ahead, a point more than his rivals to wrap up the world championship. So crucial for Fangio and Farina that they can get ahead of him today. Senesi is fourth in the fourth Alfa Romeo, and then you have Hampshire and Byra, Camotti, davidhampshire, Parnell and Crossley. Now, Parnell didn't actually move forward in the last race, which I think he'll find disappointing considering the race before he just joined Maserati in Switzerland, and he got all the way up from the back of the grid to 9th, but he'll be massively disappointed, I think, to only be 9th still here. So, well, we keep going back. Pozzi looking quite decent in the tall bit in 11th. They haven't always finished up that well, but 11th isn't the worst position. Louis Chiron, if he wants to keep his title hopes intact today, he realistically needs to hope that Fagioli goes out and that he can score a couple of points. And that Farina and Fangio don't score too much, which, with the way things have been going, that's going to be an impossible ask. So I'm sure Chiron will hope for the best and go for the best, but you just don't know. You just don't know. It is Formula One. Anything can happen. And unlike Murray Walker, I'm going to say sometimes it does. Doesn't usually does. Sometimes it does. But we're at the stage of the season where the fastest cars are starting at the front when the previous results carry, and without them having dramas or mechanical issues or anything like that, they're going to basically remain at the front, aren't they? And nobody is able to compete with them enough to bump them down a little bit. So, yeah, almost impossible task for Louis Chiron today. He hasn't got the car he started the season with either. So, here's Fagioli on pole then. He's ahead of his two Alfa Romeo teammates, Fangio and Farina. Who is going to get off the line first? It's crucial for Fangio and Farina that they don't let it be Fagioli, but I think it is Fagioli. He leads away quite nicely, and Fangio and Farina still battling over that second place to see who should have the right to go for Luigi Fagioli first. If they can go for him, look at the lead that Fagioli is pulling out already, and this is absolutely key for Luigi Fagioli. He could be world champion at the end of today's race, but he's got to beat those two who are now closing up on him. Now they're settling into the race a little bit. Fangio and Farina are closing up, and Farina has taken second place, and now he will get a chance to have a run at Luigi Fagioli. Is he going to go for it? Fagioli running a bit wide, and I think Fangio's going through as well. We switch away briefly, but we're back now, and Farina is in the first place, but will Fagioli be able to hold off Fangio? At the moment he can. He's still in second. Well, this would mean that Farina would indeed be in the championship fight going to the final race. The gap would be 5 points. Fangio, if he can pass him, I think he might have just... No, he hasn't. No, I thought I saw the orange nose in front, but it's not. It's still Fagioli right now, but he is definitely having a harder job fighting off Fangio, and it's allowing Farina to consolidate his lead. Senesi is still in fourth, basically on his own. Doesn't want to get involved with his teammates' title fight. Barely doesn't want to interfere with that, but he doesn't want to get passed by the Maseratis as well, so he's just pacing himself, I think, to get in that fourth place. Well, here comes Fangio down the inside of Fagioli. Might have a cheeky little look at Farina as well, but Fagioli, once again, he's gone in and taken the corner too wide, and that is going to give him instant regret because he's now down into third place, and this is going to make the World Championship so much harder for him to wrap up today. He would still lead it, I think, going into the final race, but both Farina and Fangio would be in range if they finish as they have started this Grand Prix. Oh yeah, Farina still very much leading at the moment. He's looking good, and he's pulling out a nice little lead over Fangio at the moment. So clearly Farina not interested in doing any business with his teammates. He wants off, and away, and that's what he'll be hoping for. See this lovely post-war setting, all the countryside. You know, sort of takes me back to some history documentaries and stuff, and you can imagine, you know, just looks so nice. Those trees, of course, look very randomly bleak there. So like someone splotted a bit of paint on the on the graphics there, but here's what it is. And, you know, we still get to have a video game of the 1950 Formula 1 season, so who can complain about that? Very, very fortunate. But here comes Farina, leading down to finish, I believe it's the first lap. I haven't been counting, but I believe it's the first lap, and there's 2 more to go. Farina leading Fangio, and then Fagioli is in third at the moment, and Sanesi still in fourth, starting to close up a little bit. Is he going to be encouraged to put pressure on Fagioli? I think if Fagioli was to develop a problem and drop further back, Sanesi would have to pass him, but at the moment he doesn't want to. I mean, Alfa Romeo should be safe in the constructors, especially if they finish at 1, 2, 3, 4 stay. There's no way Maserati are catching them in the final round at Monza. That Fagioli now pulls away from Sanesi again, so I think, yeah, that's what I said. I think Gonçalves Sanesi potentially capable of going quicker. We don't know how much quicker, but he is pacing himself very much. He does not want to get involved in his teammates' title battle, and he has actually said so. So I think he was hoping that the championship would be decided today, because then he would be able to just go for it at Monza. But Farina still leading, Fangio second and Fagioli third, so not much changing in this Grand Prix at the minute. Still looks like it might at times. Fangio there running a little bit wide, but no way for Fagioli to get involved. No way for Fangio to get involved with Farina either. The gap's too much, and there's a spinner further back. We're going to go take a look at that, I think. That's the Maserati, is that? No, that's Crosley. Has had a massive impact, and Camotti, it was who went off and started the whole incident, but it was Crosley who had the actual crash, and here's that. There's Serafini in the Ferrari out as well, so Crosley, big crash for him. Look at those Maseratis battling. Chiron is trying to get up into that battle. He is on the back of that. Chiron would love to get some points today, but he's got a lot of strong teammates in that same car as well, so yeah, not guaranteed. And Sanesi, I think, has made a mistake. He's dropped back somewhere, because he is now taking a bit of pressure from those Maseratis, and he's trying to get away again, but at the moment they were all crowding around behind him, so Sanesi must have made a mistake somewhere, and Farina continues to lead. Then it's Fangio and Fagioli, so those 3 at the front are unbroken at the minute. It looks more like Fagioli and Fangio swapping places than Fangio and Farina, I think. Farina seems to be getting a bit more distance between himself and his rival than Fangio is managing, but Fangio did gain quite a bit of ground through that corner there, so they are still trying. There is still efforts being made. In fact, Fangio's gained quite a bit of ground. He's now all of a sudden closer to Farina, but now I think Farina's pulling out the gap again as they go down the straight, so it's hard to tell. It's a bit of a optical illusion, because at one point it looks like Farina's pulling away, at the next it looks like Fangio is closing up. But if they both get their foot flat to the throttle, how can there be a difference? And, you know, same cars, unless one of the throttles isn't working properly or is working too well at one point. But Fangio is actually closing in. He's having a little bit of a peak, isn't he? And it's not like major pressure, because I don't think Fangio can get that close. I think he's more just hoping that if he just shows a little bit of his car, I don't know if his 1950s cars have got mirrors, I'm assuming not, but mirrors, can't see him. But I think Fangio is just hoping that if he shows Farina a bit of his nose, Farina's self-preservation and willingness to, you know, desire to go into the final round. Oh, another crash there, I haven't seen it though. Desire to go into the final round, still with the chance of the World Championship, that might just prevail, and Fangio might just be able to steal the win. I don't think Fangio's had a win all year, so he is, in that respect, he is definitely at a disadvantage to his 2 teammates who know how to win races and have been winning races. Well, Fangio he's done his place through consistency, hasn't he? But I mean, if he chooses to win in Monza, it'd be quite a result to get. But Fangio will only be, I think, 6 points behind Farina, assuming they stay where they are. So yeah, Fangio will. No, it's Fagioli. Sorry. It'll be, I think if they results stay as they are, Fagioli would still lead the championship by 3 points from Farina and 6 from Fangio. So Fangio would, obviously, if he gets ahead of Farina, it would mean that Farina would lose 2 points. He would gain 2 points. So Fangio would be within 4 points of Fagioli. But the time is running out now. Giuseppe Farina He is leading quite comfortably. Senesi, you can see in the background, has begun to pull out on those Maseratis again. So it's been a pretty straightforward cruise for Alfa Romeo, hasn't it? With the exception of Senesi making a little bit of a mistake and being under pressure at one point. But now, degraffenried is the Maserati up into 5th place. And I believe that what that incident was, we saw, you know, I said there was a little bit of a crash, didn't I? I think that might have been Hampshire and who else am I thinking of? I think that might have been Hampshire and Bonetto. They were both up in and around. I think they were fighting for 5th and 6th, weren't they? I think that might have been those two perhaps colliding, because neither of them are anywhere to be seen now. So that's a shame for David Hampshire. His long run of points finishes will be over, and degraffenried's going to get a chance to score some points. But there goes Farina. He will be the one to win the Grand Prix, and Fangio finishes in 2nd place behind him. Luigifagioli in 3rd place. Great job done by all of those Alfa Romeos, including Senesi. He did the job that he had to do today. It was always going to be 4th place if he didn't want to get involved with the championship fight. We'll see if he's as keen to not get involved in Monza, because where's there any point for Senesi to come back into the top level to... I know obviously now he gets to race in the World Championship, but was there any point coming back to the top level to just sit in 4th place every day, every race? So Farina wins. Fangio, he finishes in 2nd place. Fagioli 3rd, Senesi 4th, and Emmanuel degraffenried finishes 5th in the Maserati. So once again, only a 2-point finish for Maserati, and the other 22 for points finishes taken by Alfa Romeo. It's Fagioli has not won the World Championship today. That will run on into the final round at Monza. Farina's win makes sure of that. So Fagioli, he is on 30 points. Farina is on 27, and Fangio is on 24. So we will have a three-way title fight going into the Italian Grand Prix. So give us something to look forward to there. Chiron, he is on 18. He is out of it. Big shame for him with how he started the season, but unfortunately it's not been going right for him in recent races. And once he went out on the Swiss Grand Prix, that was basically it. He couldn't get back up quick enough to score any points to try to maintain it. So, but Chiron's still in 4th at the moment. He's got Parnell on 12, Byra on 8, Byra on 10, Hampshire on 9, Senesi on 6. So Senesi probably the guy who's most likely to pass Chiron, but mathematically he can't. So yeah, Chiron should be comfortable enough in 4th place, and at least he's going to be starting from 8th on the grid in Monza, so that'll give him half a chance of getting a point or two. Well, there's no 1 point, there's 2 only. So a quick look at the constructors. Alfa Romeo 99, Maserati 39. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Take care.